We had a credible confirmation that a student was positive for COVID-19. The parent is a staff member and provided us with documentation, so we didn't wait to get confirmation from the state. Out of an abundance of caution, we implemented the governor's directive. So the school is closed for 24 hours. We do deep cleaning. They also have the Department of Health investigators that are interviewing the student to ascertain whether or not there are any other relationships, and then they will follow up with them. At this point, we have very mild symptoms with the student, but again, out of an abundance of caution, we've been preparing for this. Now, it's one school, so you might ask, why two schools? Well, this is a co-location. So in situations like this, where you have a co-location, if one school is going to close, the entire building is going to close. We're going to clean the entire building. So this is an example of, again, what we've been preparing for. Now, what I think is really important is there's a lot of urban myth out there. There's a lot of urban myth. I understand, I'm a parent, and I understand parents are going to be very concerned about your children. We are being as transparent as we can be. People want to know the names of kids, the names of parents. You know we can't share that kind of detail. But what we can do is share all of the guidance that we're getting from the Department of Health. And we meet with the Department of Health every single day. And they are guiding us in terms of, they have a view of what's happening in New York City, New York State, and then they are coordinating with the CDC on a national basis. Now, what is happening in New York City may be very different than what's happening in Seattle, which may be very different than what's happening in Los Angeles. So, you know, one of the things, and by the way, I've never had the experience of having groundbreaking journalism writing about me having a sinus infection. Groundbreaking journalism. So yes, I was out for 3 days, but again, I think this is, again, transparently. Sunday, I had the sniffles, didn't feel well. So what did I do? I called into work and said, I'm staying home. Monday, I went and saw my doctor. Doctor looked at me and said, you have none of the symptoms of COVID-19. You have a sinus infection. Prescribed me antibiotics, monitored me, called in last night. I said, I'm ready. Look, no more sniffles, no more nothing. He said, finish your antibiotics, you can go back to work tomorrow. That's what we're asking people to do. Don't freak out. Just take the steps that you need to take to rule out any of these other issues. Now, why do I mention that? Because in every single case, that is the most important thing that we can do. The guidance that we've given all of our schools is that if a student appears to be sick, that the teacher should bring that to the attention of the nurse or the principal or both. That student should then be taken to the office where they will be given a mask, so in case they are sick, they don't spread it. The nurse or the medical professional will do an assessment, call the parent. A staff member will wait with the student, practicing social distancing, a distance of 6 feet. That staff member will then get a mask. Parent comes, gets the child, takes them, gets them assessed, and then here we go. So if you're sick, stay home. If you're sick, don't go to school. And I've got to tell you, we've had a number of folks that have done that. This is only really the first of documented case of a student that's tested positive. Now, why do I share that with you? Because if you think about social transmission, we are in a phase now where it's not just you went to an affected area and now you come back, travel. We are in a place now in New York State and in New York City where people have not traveled and they've gotten sick. What we do know is that this particular virus has an affinity for older people, like over the age of 65, and people with underlying chronic medical conditions, asthma, diabetes, breathing problems, deficiencies. We do know that this particular virus, although it can affect children and young people, by and large, young people that are affected have very mild conditions, very mild symptoms. They don't get sick like older people do. That's what we know generally speaking. There's always, outliers to that. But again, how do I know that? I'm not a medical doctor, but we meet with the Department of Health every single day. We have a thread going. We have in-person tabletop exercises. So the most important thing that I would ask you to do is if you land on our webpage, right as soon as you get on our webpage, there's a link there for coronavirus. We are doing daily updates. We're doing daily updates in terms of guidance. Some of the questions that I've been asked are you going to cancel PSAL? The NBA just put a halt to the rest of their season. Are you going to cancel PSAL? Are you going to cancel field trips? We are not at that place yet. When the Department of Health tells us we are seeing in the community, and New York City is a big community, an uptick, and it makes sense to do that, then absolutely we'll do that. Do we have plans in place to be able to do that? Absolutely, we have plans in place. We're not there yet. So, again, I want to just be really sure that people are following the medical advice. If anyone has a question, they can always call 311. I'll get you in just a second. They can call 311, and they can definitely look on our website, and we're sending information to all of our schools as well. The other thing that I think is really important for people to know is that what we have done so far is that we have canceled all international trips. We started with just the 5 identified countries. We've now canceled all trips. We have our law department, the city's law department, working to help families get refunds on those trips. And I understand that the vendors may be a little salty about that, but that's what lawyers are for. So we've got the lawyers working on that. They've all been canceled. We've also canceled study abroad. So those are students both ways. So students that are coming from a foreign country to stay in host homes, those have been canceled. And our students that are going to foreign countries, those have been canceled as well. I have directed that although we haven't canceled meetings or professional developments per se, we have altered it. So we have gone virtual. So instead of bringing people together, and that was my comment before, at some point in the future, it may, if circumstances warrant, this would be done virtually on a Zoom platform or a Google Friends platform, or wherever we can have situations where we are still communicating, but not doing it in person with lots of groups of people. We're going to move in that direction. The last thing that I'll say, and then I'm happy to take some questions, is I've been asked often, are you going to close schools? That is the last option for us. We are not in a place, based on the health professionals who do this for a living, to warrant closing our schools. Now, I know that Seattle's closed their schools. I know New Rochelle is going through their issue right now. We are not in that position to do that now. Do we have plans? Yes, of course we have plans. We are prepared to do that. But that is DEFCON 5, and we're nowhere near being in that place for us. Consider this, 1/10 of the students in New York City are homeless. So if you close school, if you close the school system, what happens to those children? Almost 80% of the students in New York City are by definition students in poverty. What happens to them? How do they get food? How do they get transportation? What happens to their parents? If we close schools for 2 weeks, what happens to their parents? Who takes care of those kids? What does that have to do with their work situation? And can they afford to be? There's a whole host of issues beyond just stopping the social spread of this issue, of this virus. So again, we're trying to be very thoughtful. We're being very research-based. I know there's a petition. There's 100,000 physicians that are disease control specialists telling me to close schools. Well, listen. But other than that, we have to be sober. It's not a time for panic right now. So again, we want to be very transparent. Okay, I said a lot. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I'm happy to hear that in the event of you hearing from all the specialists advising you to close schools, you, like the Department of Education, will be prepared. Do you mind expanding on that a little bit? Like, what would happen to all these children that depend on the meals and childcare? What are the plans for that? And do we have plans? Like, I mean, to my mind, it's like, why do? I mean, I don't know if there are plans or in place, but after 9/11, I would think that we will have some sort of plans, like for an emergency like this.
Yeah, so we do have plans. So I'll tell you what happened today with the schools. They're violated both high schools. So what happened is we have plans for feeding children in terms of grab-and-go lunches and grab-and-go breakfasts. So in this particular case, students could literally grab a breakfast and go. They will be able to come back to the site and outside and grab a lunch and go if they need it. Now, if we were to have a broader, most likely, if there was a need, and I want to be really, really clear, there is no need at the moment. But if there was a need to close schools, most likely it would happen not system-wide. What would happen is that there would be a group of 3, 4, or 5 schools. It would be a cluster. Kind of like what's happening in New Rochelle. There's a 1 square mile or 1 mile radius where it's kind of shut down. That's kind of what would happen. So those schools, we would have the grab-and-go feeding centers ready to go. We have plans for distance learning and alternative learning so that students would be able to access curriculum. Now, is it going to be the same curriculum that you would have? We're working to make that happen. We don't know exactly how we can do that, but we do have plans for students would have learning opportunities. One of the questions and one of the challenges that we have is not everybody has internet connection at home. But what we're doing is setting it up so that students would be able to access that through a smartphone. And I don't know many kids that don't have access to a smartphone. So it wouldn't necessarily require internet access, it would be cloud-based to be able to pull stuff down. We also have a number of partners that are already partners with us in the DOE that have standards-based intervention curriculum that's a number of our schools use. So we're meeting with them as we speak to see if we were to have one of these situations happen, how can we expand that opportunity for the students that are affected in that particular area. We have everything from A to Z, from transportation to medical care to child care. We have it all planned out. Now, one of the questions that I've been asked is, why don't you just publish it? Good question. We don't publish it because then people that may not have the best intentions didn't have the playbook, right? And one of the things that we have to be very thoughtful about is, and why we have to have confirmation of some of these positive tests is, we know that it's not beyond the realm of possibility that kids will call in a bomb threat because, hey, we don't think we're going to react. This is right for those kinds of activities. So we don't publish those emergency plans, but I can assure you that we have them in place. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
By the way, I applaud personally, I applaud the decision and the reservations about closing schools. I think that we recognize that difficult to transfer those positions. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for that position. So I just wanted to ask you another policy issues that we have ongoing and considering, for example, the talent programs, admissions changes, things like that, in lieu of coronavirus, COVID-19, is there a plan to at least defer or kind of table those temporarily so parents can chime in on those issues and have an opportunity to weigh in? Because I know like our District 2 meeting is in March 10th because of the virus. So I just wanted to know the opportunities for parents to weigh in on these issues if there was something actually done.
Yeah, it's a really good question. So absolutely. So it's not like there's not work being done in terms of the policy work, and we're preparing for the engagement work that happens with all of those initiatives. But absolutely, this is not a time for policy conversations. I recorded a webinar, or I conducted a webinar with physicians from the Department of Health last Friday. We recorded it. We had over 2,400. It was for all principals. We had 2,400 people that participated in that webinar. We got all kinds of questions. We recorded it, and we now made it available to principals. So don't be surprised in PTA meetings or in any other kind of meeting that principals will, it's like 39 minutes total. But it's a great webinar, not because I'm on it, but because the physicians really describe what is the coronavirus, what's the reality, what's urban myth from actual fact. And then we were able to answer some questions. Now that being said, they're a good example of how we're trying to be nimble about this is there was a question about using attendance as part of the screening process for the admissions to some of the schools. And there were a lot of folks saying, just remove the screens. Well, that's a policy question. So what we did do, though, is we said, based on this particular situation, we are going to freeze the use of screens for next year's admissions. So if a student is sick, or a student has to self-quarantine, they should do it without any worry that that's going to have a negative effect next year. Now, some folks will say, why don't you just come out and just remove it? Because that's a policy question and it involves engaging the community, hearing feedback. We're not going to make policy decisions based on the COVID-19. What we are going to do, though, is be very sober and very clear-eyed about, let's remove that as a reason why somebody will go to school sick, or a parent will send their child to school sick. So that's an example of how we want to be responsive, but policy is still policy. Am I clicking, or is that okay? Is that okay? Okay. So I'm sorry, I haven't noticed who went first. So what we're going to do, we're going to go here. Who else has
So
questions?
on my left first, and then
Okay. Yes, ma'am. You cross.
Just to follow on from Steve, so the child, or the family stuff, isolates the child from symptoms. Is the school nurse for doctors, I mean, right now, the doctors are really backed up, they're most rushing in, asking for tests, so is it going to be necessary to take the child to the doctor themselves? If you made a decision as a parent, I don't want to sign a cover, give me a home today.
Right. There's no protocol right now requiring a doctor's note. But again, we want to be transparent so that parents understand if your child is home for 3 days and the symptoms aren't getting any better, you need to get them to the doctor. And I can tell you that when I called the doctor, they had no idea I was a chancellor. I was just Joe Blow calling in to say, hey, I got boogers, my head is stuffy, I have no fever, I have no aches, I have no cough, it's just my head is stuffed. And the doctor said, come in, I'll take a look. Looked up my nose, he said, oh, I think I got nasty sinus infection, but you don't have COVID. Here's your antibiotics, go home. If you don't feel better, let me know. So, again, we're going to ask parents just to be very thoughtful about it in that way. We do have in New York City the ability, by calling 311, if a parent doesn't have insurance, we can connect them with the medical clinics that will take parents, students and parents as well. Who's next? Yes.
Yeah, you said that, the principals, have this webinar. Are you sure they want to share it with the parents at the PTA? Because your P-Weekly and a lot of things that we sent out, the principals keep it to themselves. And when they approach by the parents, they feel that we're overstepping our bounds.
So part of what I said to the principals on the webinar was that whatever their priority is, this is now their priority, to keep parents involved and to keep the community engaged. So if the message isn't coming through loud and clear, very simply, you let me know, and we will know. So I would encourage all parents to ask the principal, hey, I heard there's a webinar, the chancellor reported, can we see it? And if the answer is no, then I need to know that.
Can we get that recorded?
I just want to say thank you very much for the complimentary newspaper. That was very well written, and I think it spoke about, especially with all the, especially from District 28, with all the stuff going on. I thought that was very well written. So I just want to say thank you very much. That was a great help.
Thank you. I got tired of other people speaking for me, so I'm speaking to people directly. They don't know me, they're saying me, so get to know me. So thank you, I appreciate that.
Mr. Carranza, so I went to a district and we have some cases that were reported in the Riverdale area, close to we're 5 miles away from your show. And I know that there's differences of opinion between the governor and the mayor. And in the governor's conference, the governor explained very clearly no large gatherings. No large gatherings.
Yeah.
Dr. Barbeau and Dr. Pereira in yesterday's conference quoted that, we should avoid large gatherings in public locations. I understand the need of the city and the shelter and the kids' conditions and the parents' conditions. However, in today's report, we had 9 new cases that came about. What is a drastically situation? I'm quoting the mayor on this, because I would have liked for you as a chancellor to be in this press conference, which I didn't see you there, because
I was sick.
you were sick, but someone from your office,
I've been sick for 4 days.
but someone from your office should have been there, because
Not my call,
so
sir.
the thing is that, questions about why don't you close schools? Why do we have to wait for something to grow? I'm a healthcare professional, by the way, and there is no cure for this. Like the Dr. Orbo say, if you get sick, you can go to the ER, and we're just going to help you put a mask on to give you air if your pneumonia gets worse. I mean, if you have a fever, go buy yourself a thermometer and test yourself a fever. I mean, that's what it is. The question is, what is the drastic number that in order for you or someone in the city to make a determination to close the store? What is the drastic number? What are the numbers that we're waiting for? Based on statistics that you have not analyzed, so that we can tell the parents. Because the parents are coming back saying, why don't they close the schools if we have the virus? Not in our schools, but in private schools. Because this is what's going on in the Riverdale section.
So again, this is an ever-evolving situation. Every single day there's new information. Every single day there's new access to the situation. Now, I wasn't at the press conference because I was sick. And so I don't know how to say it. I was socially isolating myself because that's the protocol. Now, the medical professionals are monitoring the cases. The medical professionals are monitoring the database, not only of New York City, but the state as well. So what is that magic number? There is no magic number. It's based on a lot of factors that get factored in terms of how many cases, how many tests, where are those tests, are there any clusters? So again, these are all medical decisions that are getting made. I guarantee you there's a press conference today, I'll be there. And that's why on our website, we're trying to share everything that we get. We're going to put it on that website. We're going to be very, very transparent. But again, I'm going to ask you, your parent leaders, part of what I'm going to ask you to do is be very sober about the facts. Because people are losing their minds over this particular issue. There have been more people died this year from the flu than COVID-19 in the United States. More people have died from the flu than COVID-19. So again, we want to be just very, very sober about what the facts are, just the facts. Now, what should reassure parents is that we're not taking this lightly. I have a team right now from across the DOE of hundreds of people that are working on all of these different plans and have worked on these plans. We're ready to go, but there's no need to pull that trigger unless we need to pull the trigger. So again, be very sober about what's being said, be very sober about the information that's being put out. Make sure you're staying up to date with our website. Make sure you're reading what the mayor's office is putting out, because it's based on, again, the Department of Health. And then if there are questions, there are ways to get those questions answered. 311, we have FAQ, you can email us. That email site is also on our website. And then we're publishing what the guidance is from the Department of Health.
District 4.
Yeah, got it. Okay, thank you. Hi, Chancellor.
Hi there.
I can't wait to see your webinar, and I'm sure it'll be very informative. But I was notified last night that you notified the principals about absences, in addition to the notification that you stated with certain grades, you know about the grades who are applying for middle school, high school. Grade-wide, like all grades, there'll be a special coding for these absences. And can you confirm that? And I actually have 2 pieces, so this is one.
So yes, that is true. So we are coding these absences pertaining to COVID-19. I'm gonna stop calling it coronavirus.
Yeah, COVID-19.
I'm gonna call it COVID-19 because that's what it is. So we have a code that a special code that we're using. 2 reasons. We want to know what is the impact, because that's a data point for the Department of Health. And then we also want to be able to track that as it pertains to next year's admissions cycles as well. So for those two reasons, I will tell you that if we compare attendance this year, every day we're comparing our attendance this year compared to the attendance last year, they track almost identically. You know, up and down, one year versus another, but we're not seeing a drastic change.
So far. And just my second piece really quickly, as we all know, everyone is on the same page. This is the first time we're experiencing this and dealing with it, we're figuring it out daily. With the stress of this unknown, and with the stress, the known stress of the statewide test coming up, let's start the discussion with that, because we have families and school admin that are freaking out and they're trying to deal with both. And I'm just hoping that we can postpone or cancel a statewide test. But we're dealing with two heavy load, depending on the families and the schools. But these statewide tests are on us now. We're supposed to be preparing and talking about it. And just that's the last thing folks want to think about.
So I do want to tell you that we are in conversations already with the state around that issue, statewide tests. So what happens if, for example, God forbid, we have to close down for 2 weeks or a week? We want to make sure that that won't be counted negatively. In other words, we're going to have to extend into the summer to make up days, that there should be provisions for that. There's about 5 or 6 other things that we're working with the state on, but one of them is the testing. Because we do realize that this isn't going to be a 1-month issue. This is going to be a 4 or 5 month issue. And everything that we know is that it will probably get worse before it gets better. And worse means more and more people being identified, more and more people being tested, etc. So I want to assure you, we're already in conversation with the state on that.
Cancel the test.
29. So my question is not COVID-19 related, so is it okay, or we're still doing this COVID? So there are 2 questions. Can you give an update on transportation, the VIA app and all that? We have heard nothing else since the fall on it. And second is, I don't know if others have been able to attend the New York State Ed regional meetings on graduation measures, but I did get to attend the Queens session, and I've heard from people from the Brooklyn session. We were fortunate to have current high school students at our sessions, and it was and teachers, it was very disappointing to hear and heartbreaking that some of these students who are doing very well in their academics, but are afraid that they're not going to pass the test, and so they feel that they have no hope and no future. And if you stand in here, 3 17-year-olds tell you that they have no future because they can't pass a Regents, there's something that we're not doing right with our students. And when you have teachers who are sitting around the table stating that they can't teach a topic or subject because they have to prep them for the test, there's something wrong that we're doing in our system. And so yes, those measures are for 3, 4, 5 years down the line. I'd like to know, what are we doing now to support our students to understand that there's these different options toward graduation, but also for ones who are petrified that if they don't pass a Regents, they don't have a future because everything is about this test. And so we need to address this. This is heard from at least 2 boroughs. We've heard it around this table. And so there's something that we're not doing. And as a parent leader, I would like to be included in the discussion of how we fix this, because I never want to hear another kid tell me they don't have hope for the future.
You are so passionate, and I really appreciate it. This is going to have to be the last 2 questions because I have to jump on a conference call for COVID-19. So, yes, and one of the reasons I'm so excited that these meetings are happening all over the state of New York with the Regents in the audience is because they need to hear these stories. And as a high school teacher, I didn't have a Regents because I didn't teach in New York City, but we had similar tests. Look, there's this notion that if you take a test and you pass a test, that's meritocracy. Ridiculous. It's not. You have kids that have worked really hard, and there are alternate pathways other than just a test, right? And we all know them. I know them. I've seen them. So this is a great conversation to have, and what I will say is that in New York City, there is a lot of work already happening around de-emphasizing this is the only pathway. Now, we all know, and you really can't appreciate the heartfelt stories like you can unless you've been in the room and heard them. But this is what happens, folks, and this is why I'm so excited we're having this conversation. Because the minute you say, well, there should be other pathways, there shouldn't be just one way for a student to earn a diploma, they can earn it in another way, then you're going to get certain journalism posts that are going to say, well, you're dumbing down the curriculum. Well, don't you have standards? Well, don't. Ridiculous. It's not true. We're giving kids pathways. And what we do know is that if a student doesn't earn a diploma, it not only affects them, but it affects their entire family. And when you have a family where no one has ever earned a diploma, the first student that earns a diploma in that family changes the trajectory of the entire family. So these are real social issues, but they're academic issues as well. And again, I want to encourage you, these meetings are not over. They're probably going to look a little different in light of COVID-19, okay? But I encourage you to be there. Transportation. I'm happy to report VIA, we're doing a pilot already with in a number of districts. The plan is to have VIA fully installed by the end of this school year, but most assuredly before the start of the next school year. Now, just a reminder, VIA is going to be a technology that will allow parents on their smartphones, on their tablets, on their laptops to track students once they get on the bus, where the bus is in real time, and then when students get off the bus. Now you're probably saying, well, if it's working so well, why are you doing a pilot? Well, we're installing it. And remember, just a reminder, New York City has the most bus routes in the world, except for the city of London. So to say we're going to put it on our bus routes, it's a big deal. Now, why is it a pilot? Because these are the kinds of things that we're working out. So how are we going to know that a student got on the bus? Well, do they have a fob? And they touch the fob and then it's registered? Or do they have a card and they swipe just like on the subway? Or does the bus driver then punch a number or punch a picture of the student and then that's how you know they got on and that's how they got off? I don't know which one of those three ways works best. The only way is to have a little pilot. Which one works best? Which is the easiest? Which is the one that students can manipulate the easiest so that we have real-time data? That's the kind of pressure testing that we're doing right now. But we are absolutely on track to have it installed by this summer, at the end of the school year, and accounting for whatever, kerfuffles may happen, absolutely in all our buses by the start of the school year. VIA is in addition to GPS, which is already on all of our buses. The only difference is that the GPS, we can tell where our buses are in real time. Parents can't yet tell where they are in real time. VIA will give that functionality to all of our parents. So listen, I want to thank you. Wash your hands, please. I mean that sincerely. And you'll see on the video on the webinar, and I mean that also sincerely. If you ask the principal and they say I'm not going to show you that,